Let's just have a quick look at some firing cycles here that we use. Now, this kiln here is a 4 cubic foot electric kiln, and so it's only a little kiln, and we tend to do a lot of tiles in this one, and that's why we've got so many shelves for it. Really, it's got elements either side and at the bottom. Doesn't have elements in the door, but it's a really good kiln, and we like that. So here's what we do with that. We've got a bisque at the top there, and it says 3120, so that's the model of the kiln. And it says when we did that, which was on Good Friday, and this is a drying program up at the top. So 1:30 in the afternoon, it was 6 degrees. Oh dear. And so there are 2 ramps on that programmer, and the first ramp I'm going 40 degrees an hour up to 150. So 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's 3.5 hours, isn't it? To get up to 150. Now, the top ramp, I'm only on the second ramp, I'm only going up 10 degrees an hour faster. So I've gone up from 40 degrees an hour to 50 degrees an hour, and I'm only going from 150 to 180. That's plenty there, really. That's quite hot in at 180 for biscuit ware. So you know, that is the soak at the end there. That's S for soak, and I'm soaking out at 180 degrees for an hour, 59 minutes. Okay, now presuming that's all right, when it's cooled down a bit, I'm gonna use this program to take it up to 1,000 degrees Celsius, which is a bisque program. Okay, so I started that at 7:30 in the morning, and it was still at 44 degrees. That would be the following morning. So that's good. I got a head start. I'm going to go 75 degrees an hour to 650 degrees. Then I'm going to go 165 degrees an hour up to 1,000 degrees, and let's see. Started it at 7:30, and I got to 900 degrees at 5:30. So I still had an hour to go. Well, I'll bet that it wasn't doing more than a degree a minute at that point. So I'd say 5:30. Let's say about 6:30. So I'd say that was an 11-hour firing. I haven't actually written down when I finished that, and I should have done, but for one reason or another I haven't. So that is a typical firing cycle on a bisque firing. Okay, and that's what we're going to do in this top loader now. And here's the gloss firing, and we've gone 100 degrees an hour up to 260, and then we've gone 165 degrees an hour for the remainder of the firing up to its finished temperature at 1100 degrees Celsius. So 1100 degrees Celsius or 1100 degrees, whichever you prefer. And then I'm soaking that for an hour. Okay, and that's an earthenware glaze. Now, a couple of points about the biscuit firing. Why so slow up to 650? Well, when you get into the high 500s, around 590, let's say, I'm not sure what the exact temperature is, but just under 600, you're still actually, you still have water chemically bonded with the clay. And it's not until you've gone past 600 that you can speed that firing up, because you're still driving water off it. If you drive water off it too quickly, the pots will break, and particularly tiles. So I'm very, very wary about, I just let it go at a nice gentle temperature until it's up to at least 620, 630, 640, 650, and then we can go faster. And so after that, I've more or less doubled the rate of climb, and because it's far less important once you've gone past that critical temperature. Let's call it 600. Don't speed your firing up anything under 600, or you're going to have trouble with pots breaking in there. It's driving the water off. You might think that 100 degrees is boiling point in Celsius, and that's going to get rid of the water. It doesn't. Chemically, there's still water in the clay right up till 600, and it's around the 600 mark that your pottery turns into pottery. Before that, it hasn't done it. So, and the other thing with earthenware is, if this was stoneware, you could probably bisque this a bit lower than 1,000 degrees. But with earthenware, you want to make sure you don't want to go up to a temperature where the biscuitware won't accept glaze. It's not porous enough to take a glaze coat. But you want to go fairly high. So 1,000 degrees is fairly typical for the biscuit firing. And here we are going up to 1,100 degrees on this. Now that clay, that we're dealing with clay now. We've got the biscuitware, we've glazed it, and we put it back in the kiln, so we don't have to turn it into pottery. It already is pottery, so we don't have to worry about that 600 degrees watershed on the glaze firing. Okay, so what you'll find is that it'll slow down. The higher the temperature gets, the harder the kiln has to work to keep it going. And I'll give you the formula for working out how much it costs at some stage as well, because that's quite an interesting thing to work out. Right now, though, I'm just going to set this controller for this kiln over here, because I just want you to see this. I'll pop this in the tripod and see if I can lift it up a bit. There it is. Okay, I can't get it any closer than that. So this particular controller, so I can if I zoom it in, can't I? God. Yes, just going to have to put that on a little block, the front of the tripod there. Just bear with me a tick. There you go. So I'll zoom in a little bit closer on that. So, right, there we are. Let's just switch the power on, and you can see that these are the up and down buttons. So that's where I'm controlling temperature up and down. That's delay, hours and minutes. That if I want to fire it after lunchtime or something, I can put in about 4 hours or something, and then it'll start on its first ramp. So it's currently 25 degrees Celsius. That's not the ambient temperature. That's because I dried it out on a drying program yesterday. So it's still at 25 degrees now. I'm not firing this kiln today. I'm going to fire it tomorrow, because I have to go out and I'm not leaving it unattended. So a ramp, degrees Celsius per hour, we press that button and it's set at 30. Now that was where it was set to dry out the kiln, and then it went up to its first waypoint, which is 90 degrees, and then it hasn't got a second speed for the ramp. It shows you with a red light that it's doing the second ramp, but actually it just goes as fast as it can. So you've got to be careful with this controller. You can't control the second ramp, and you can't control the temperature coming back down again either. Not that I would want to, but anyway, where were we going? Well, we were going to 105 degrees, so I went to 90, didn't I think, on the first one. What was the first one? Yeah, I went to 90 on the first one and then let it go up to 105 at its own speed. That's not too dangerous. I don't think anything untoward has happened there. And then I soaked it for half an hour, and that was just to dry it out. So, and then you press run and it'll do that for you. Okay, so we don't want that anymore. So we go back down to there. We don't want a delay on it. Right, now, this is a biscuit firing, so I'm quite careful about biscuit wear. So I'm going to put that up to the ramp. Right, I want to go up to 75 degrees an hour, 60, 68, 73, 74, 75, right. Now, remember that waypoint that we have on the earthenware firing at the end of your first ramp. We've got to go all the way up to 600. They sort of pick up speed, these things, and they go hell for leather. Whoops, 689, we've gone too far. Back down we come. Whoa, 600, 610. I want to go a bit more than that, 620. Okay, so if I get up to 620, that's fine. That should give all of the kiln enough time over the 590 to 620 to kind of even out the temperature on the inside of it. So that should be fine. I can't set the ramp for the next one, so I've got to set the final temperature. So that's going to be 1,000 degrees. So I'm on the drying one was only 100, so I've got to go up to 1,000, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1,001. There we go, perfect. Now, down at, what did I do there? Okay, 1,001, that's fine. Let's leave it at 1,001, and then I'm going to press the soak, and I'm not going to soak it. I just don't need to do that. So I'm going to take that right down to 0. I don't need to soak a bisque firing. If I get up to 1,000 degrees, that's fine. Now, when I want to start that, I press the run button and it'll start up and fire that program. And so there we are. We got a firing cycle there and a drying cycle for the bisque. When we load up the glaze and have a look at that, we'll do the same thing for the glaze firing. Now, I'm not saying that you should use this as a model for your own kiln or your own pottery. It really depends on what you're doing, but it's a fairly typical earthenware fire, and of course a lot is going to depend on your glaze firing temperature on the glaze that you're using, because you might have a maturation point in the glaze that's much lower than ours. Ours is something like 1060 to 1150, so we're going right bang smack in the middle of that at 1100. Yours might be different, but for the bisque firing, I think that's it's a fairly general guide. Okay, so hopefully we'll catch up with you again when we're doing the glaze firing, but we'll come back and have a look at the glazing process after we've done this bisque firing and we pull the biscuit ware out of the kiln. And hopefully everything will be fine, and I hope we'll see you then.